Now this is going to be really brief. I was going to do a couple of readings and thank everyone. But a friend of mine who asked me what I was going to do said that wasn't enough and I needed to do more. And so you will have me for a bit longer. She said, you have to tell them why you wrote the book. And so of course I had to think about this, and like any other issue that you think about, there are many layers to this. There isn't just one answer. The short one is that the story made me do it. And I mean it. There was a period in my life when I was still working full-time in a very complex job, and Phil will know what I'm talking about. That took up most of my life as a school principal. I was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and writing for 2 hours before going to work because I had to do it. So then the question arises, why? Why this compulsion to write? And it obviously has to go back to that fateful day in October 1965, when we arrived to Sydney. And when I brought with me not just my family, but also a whole lot of memories of people and events and scenes and ways of interacting with the world to Australia, into a very different environment. And in that new world, I had to become a different person. And in order to be able to speak differently, see things differently, and interact differently, I had to gently wrap up all those memories and put them aside for a while. And there they were for a couple of decades. But then they decided to clamour, to get out. They just needed to be heard and shared. And so the story. And in writing the story, I'll go back to what Kath said before. One of the reasons why I wanted to be told is because the world I lived in was then, and is still even more now, so different from the world that we live in now. There it was, post-war Yugoslavia, a socialist country, not behind the Iron Curtain, but of that ethos. One-party system, state-owned everything, water, electricity, roads, education, health. And there we lived. What did people feel about it? Were they happy? How did it feel to be there? That's what we found out from the book. Of course, some things were terrific and some things didn't work. But in thinking about it, it is heartening to me, and I hope it's heartening to you, to know in that sort of detail of a different way of organising a society. Very different to the one that we are, shall I say, stuck in now. And I think that should augur well for the future. And of course for my sons and for my family, it was to bring to life people and events that are part of their family and heritage, for me to make them all live again. And for you, my friends and readers, I hope you just find it a really good yarn. And I hope it keeps you awake until you read it through.